An opinion by Jack Warner in the Sunshine Today newspapers. The current impasse with the Auditor General, the central bank, and the Minister of Finance is disturbing. The impression given to the man on the street is that some tiefing took place, and the government is trying its best to cover it up. Why else would any government agency deprive the Office of the Auditor General access to documents that would verify the correction of errors, thereby giving her confidence to include the understated $2.6 billion in the Auditor General's special report? Best practices, especially in auditing and accounting, demand that those tasked with such a job see verifiable evidence to support all transactions, not depend on word of mouth, regardless of the perceived integrity of those presenting accounts to be audited. It is strange, therefore, that people of such high standing, such as the Governor of the Central Bank, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, and the Minister of Finance, have all failed to recognize the Auditor General's right to examine the bank's electronic system, which caused the billion-dollar understatement in the first place. This examination would ensure that the reported figures are accurate. Why is there so much resistance from the government and its agents to provide this information to the Auditor General? This defiance suggests that all is not well, and the Auditor General is being pressured to verify information that she has not seen. Clearly, doing so would not satisfy the requirements of her office. These are the people in control of our treasury and finances. These are the officials who, over the past 9 years, have fluctuated in their opinions on the financial state of our nation. They are making decisions on spending, and citizens expect integrity in office from them. If these officials are denying the Auditor General the right to examine their books, whether it concerns $1 or $2.6 billion, then it is reasonable to conclude that something is amiss and that the government cannot account for the $2.6 billion under review. In this case, allegations of missing money annually from our coffers could very well be true. The government should understand that citizens are searching for signs to figure out where their money has gone or is going. The Minister of Finance gives the economy a good rating, but citizens are not seeing the benefits. This matter concerns a $2.6 billion understatement at a time when the government plans to increase electricity bills because of a $4 billion debt the Electricity Commission owes to the National Gas Company for gas supplied. Citizens should refuse to pay any such increase until the $2.6 billion understatement is resolved. This cannot be trivialized. Government workers should reject the 4% wage offer and take to the streets in protest, especially given the government's refusal to allow the Auditor General access to view the central bank's electronic system, which caused the understatement. They should remind the government and Colm and Burt that they are public servants, not masters over the people. If officials are failing to provide access to audit these figures, one must doubt whether the government's claim of not being able to pay workers a decent salary is true. The nation is burdened with a $2.6 billion understatement, yet our children are forced to learn in unsuitable environments because the government cannot provide adequate funding for schools. Colm and Burt must understand that this is the people's money, not his. Parents should protest at schools where the learning conditions are inadequate until the government accounts for these funds. We cannot trivialize this $2.6 billion understatement. Early in the first term of the Raleigh administration, Burt boasted about removing fuel subsidies without sparking riots and later raised the price again. We remained silent. Our silence must not be interpreted by the government as support for what seems to be corruption endemic in this administration. If we fail to raise our voices, we will never know what has become of this $2.6 billion, and the allegation of some $25 billion missing from the Treasury will always linger on the nation's conscience. We have gone soft. We have surrendered our right to know. There are some who still refuse to relinquish our constitutional rights, and these defenders must be supported. Government decisions are being announced not in Parliament, but at PNM political meetings. Amid rising murder rates, a press conference was held to inform the public that our large boats are out of commission and will not be in service until after the general elections. If this is not arrogance, what is? Since then, 2 families have been wiped out, one in Petit Valley and the other in Parletivere, Tobago, yet we remain silent. Where is our fight? Where is our will to demand the rights that this administration has taken away? Burt and others must understand that we want transparency regarding the understated $2.6 billion. We do not want verbal assurances from him, the governor of the central bank, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Finance, or any other official. We want the Auditor General to examine the central bank's electronic system and confirm that all is well with the account. Only this will help to dispel the perception that these politicians are thieves and liars, exploiting the citizens of our nation.